What's up, guys? Welcome to Bipolar Boxing. Let's do a breakdown for Subriel Matias versus Dalton Smith going on this Saturday. Um, this one, it really is a coin flip type of fight, and the odds resemble that. I mean, I think Subriel Matias is like minus 175. His odds have actually went up in the last couple of weeks. Saw him a while ago. I think he was like 130, minus 135 or something like that. And I think that's a lot of American money coming in. They don't know who Dalton Smith is, and they see all those videos of Subriel Matisse, everyone calling him the boogeyman and stuff like that. And this is a tough fight to pick for me because I've been very high on Dalton Smith, and I do not like a lot of British prospects. But about like 5 years ago, I think it was, I was on a show, Voice from the Corner back in the day with Peter McDonough. Used to do that show, and he's an Irish guy, but he knows a lot about British boxing and stuff like that. And he asked me who my favorite prospect was, and even back then, I said Dalton Smith's your guy. Dalton Smith's probably the best fighter you guys got as a prospect out there, and I think I was right. And Dalton Smith is a great fighter. It's just my problem with this fight is Subriel Matisse has been tested. He's been tested against hard punchers. He's been tested against boxers. He did lose one of those decisions, but Subriel Matisse has been tested, and he only has one way to fight. And Dalton Smith only has one way to fight too, in my opinion, and that's kind of box from the outside, set up his shots, and land his straight right hand. And I just don't know if that's going to be enough for a guy like Subriel Matias. Um, Matias comes forward. He is not a very hard puncher. Like a lot of those knockout highlight videos you see him knocking guys out. I don't see him as that big of a puncher at 140. He does volume the shit out of you, but I don't see him as that big of a puncher. So usually I would take the better boxer in this because the puncher that comes forward doesn't hit hard enough and the boxer could just move around. The problem I have with Dalton Smith is I don't think he moves his feet enough to get away from a guy like Matias. And I don't think, although Matias is very hittable, I don't think he can land enough straight shots to keep Matias off of him, because usually the guys that Dalton Smith has been fighting up to this point, they get hit with that shot and they either get shaken up or they get knocked out, and they have to rethink their whole strategy. And then the fight's pretty much over from there once he lands one good shot. Like, that's not going to happen in this fight. And I wish Dalton Smith had some tougher fights. I wish he would have came over to the States a fight before this or something like this and got a tune up. But, it's for a world title. You got to take your chance here. Um, I'm just going. I got to go with Matisse in this one, just because I Dalton Smith, like I said, he hasn't really been tested. I was actually happy he went 12 rounds in his last fight with that Matthew Germain guy. That guy was not that good. He had one foot out the door. He's probably going to retire, and he went 12 rounds with him, but at least you got 12 rounds in because he's got a very high knockout percentage. And once you get up to a certain level in this sport, I always say, like, knockouts don't come a lot of times in championship fights. So you got to be able to go 12 rounds. So that was good. Like, he knows he can go 12 rounds with the stamina and everything, but Matisse is a different beast. And if Matisse comes in there and just just like volumes the shit out of him, that's all I see happen is him coming forward, Dalton Smith not being able to get away. And I don't think if it goes to a decision, I don't think Dalton Smith's going to win a decision in. You might as well be in Puerto Rico because it's in Brooklyn. It's in Brooklyn, New York. So I don't see him getting a decision being on his back foot unless he really hurts Matias with one of his shots, and that could happen. That's why, like I said, this is a coin flip fight because Dalton Smith, I believe, is the harder puncher out of these two. It's just he doesn't have the volume. He's a kind of a lanky fighter too, and his arms are very long. The way I see this fight going is Matisse just coming forward and kind of smothering Dalton's work, and Dalton's going to have to kind of take two punches and reset himself, hop away, get himself some distance, and I don't think he's going to have a lot of time to set up his straight shots, and those are his hurtful shots. And I don't know. I don't see it happening for Dalton Smith. And like I said, I love the guy, but even a loss here doesn't drop you down that far. You can go the rest of the year, pick up a couple more wins, and get another title shot next year or something like that. It just sucks that like this is the first time Americans are really going to be able to see Dalton Smith, and it might not be a good showing. And like I said, if Dalton Smith had better footwork and he was a little bit more elusive, I would take him in this fight because I think Matias can be outboxed because like I said, he doesn't hit that hard. He comes forward, he throws a lot of volume. But if you're a guy that can, you know, take two punches, land two punches of your own, get out of there, and just box from distance, he could do that. But like I said, all I see is Matias just smothering the shit out of Dalton Smith. Dalton Smith getting frustrated. There's probably going to be a lot of holding in this fight. It might be a little ugly. And Dalton Smith also has a great trainer. His dad, I believe his dad's Grant Smith. Grant Smith's an amazing trainer, out there in the UK. And he'll work on, in game strategy, in fight strategy, whatever you want to call it. And, maybe they'll switch things up, but I don't think Dalton Smith, like, what are you going to tell him to do? Like, get in there and bang with the guy? You can't do that. He's probably going to be telling him the game plan from the start is probably going to be, back off, work the jab, don't get into a firefight with this guy. But I don't think you have a choice with Matisse in this fight. So I'm just going with the volume punching of Matisse and um, him just winning enough rounds against Dalton Smith. Dalton Smith just being off his back foot. I can't see him giving him a decision. I mean, if I was going to pick Dalton Smith to win this fight, I'd probably pick it by knockout, and I'd pick it by a late knockout because Matisse got a little gas problem too, and I'm just not going to speak on the Ostarine stuff. Like I don't know what that stuff. They found like trace amounts in there, but for some reason the amount that was found in his system is trace amounts, and it's lower. It's low enough to the threshold where the WBC allows it. So it is what it is there. But yeah, just give me Subriel Matisse by decision. I'm gonna say like 7 rounds to 5 or 8 rounds to 4. I just don't see in him. If Dalton Smith wins rounds, maybe he wins them early, but I think he will get worn down, and the volume's just going to be too much. Um, yeah, that's all I got. Like I said, I love Dalton Smith, but I just think this is not a good fight for him. I mean, he's getting his chance at a title. He's fighting the weakest of the belt holders at 140, in my opinion. This is just not a good style for him. I think some of the other guys, I think he might have a chance, like Richardson Hitchens. I think he'd have a better chance than than Matisse, to be honest. Just because I think he could knock out Richardson Hitchens. I don't think he's going to knock out a guy like Subriel Matisse. So just give me Matisse by decision. Let me know who you guys think's going to win. And I not much to say about the undercard of this fight. The undercard's not that good. I haven't even seen the odds come out for the undercard fights. But yeah, it's boxing's back. We've been, real slow for the last couple of weeks, so at least we got this fight to look forward to. And it's a it's a 50-50 fight. That's what we'd like to see in boxing. I don't like to see him personally as a gambler because I got to pick one of these fucking sides. But yeah, just give me Subriel Matisse. Let me know who you guys think's gonna win, and let me know who you think's the winner should fight to maybe consolidate the belts here. Like, I hope one of these guys, like Richardson Hitchens, that guy doesn't fight a lot. Um, Devin Haney, somebody in there. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Have a good night.